Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Anthony Garcia with the Peaceful Mind Counseling Group. And today I want to address a question we get often, and it's regarding jumping ship and the grass is greener on the other side, right? When to leave the relationship. And I want to address that today. I believe that everyone deserves quality counseling, and we make sure this happens by only accepting to work with clients that we are completely confident we can help. All right, so you get to a situation where you're starting to consider in your relationship for whatever reasons that maybe the grass is greener on the other side, right? Maybe I could be happier with someone else. And while that might legitimately be a concern and a valid question, I don't know. There's no cookie cutter response to this because I don't know the status of your relationship. I'm not working with everyone here through this video, of course, but and everyone's situation is unique and different. Generally speaking, what I've seen over my many years of practice is that individuals tend to think that the grass is greener on the other side because they're not really recognizing what issues it is that they too have brought to the relationship. And what I mean by that is it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. So it takes two people to have a relationship issue, right? And so oftentimes what we're not addressing the overarching theme of like infidelity or situations like that, because we do legitimately work with individuals that are in those situations, and it's terrible. It's a very unfortunate situation. We're not addressing that. What we're addressing is when we're having this constant bickering and these constant issues in our relationship, and then we end up saying, you know what, we've been fighting for so long, and she doesn't understand me, and he doesn't listen to me, and he doesn't help with the dishes. You know, that mundane day-to-day stuff that it truly does start to erode us, right? It's like waves crashing up against the shoreline. It starts to slowly but surely erode us, right? Erode our love, our passion for each other. And so that's what we're addressing. And oftentimes the biggest recommendation that I give is that we must take a deep look into ourselves first before we decide whether the grass truly is greener somewhere else. And what I mean by that is you'd be amazed how many people over the years I've worked with that have actually had their own life of experiences and problems that have contributed to the way that they see the world today. And so I'll give you an example. One time I was working with someone who was reading me a text message from their wife, and he said, well, look at this. And he's reading the text message to me, and he says, well, I hope you have a great day. And I remember pausing at that moment and saying, well, John, let's say, if I were reading that text message and I changed the tone because all I would have is the script of the text, I would hear, I hope you had a great day, or I hope you have a great day. Right? And what I mean by that example is that oftentimes we put a filter on what the person is saying simply because of possibly because of the experiences we've had together over the years. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that smart remark or whatever. But you'd be amazed how often it's more of, I actually think that that's what you meant because it's triggering something deeper within me that's been unresolved since before I even got in a relationship with you. And that's extremely important that we become somewhat aware of, right? Oftentimes you don't become aware of that until you go to therapy, right? But what I mean by that, and in today's video response, it's to really give some hope that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, especially if the reason that the grass is not green here is because you haven't worked on yourself, and therefore the grass is never going to be green with anybody that you're with. You'll always have a honeymoon stage. We've all gone through that, right? Where things are so great at the beginning of any relationship. And that might tempt you to believe that things might legitimately be better with someone else. But wasn't it good with your relationship at first anyways? Meaning something changed, right? And so what I always recommend my clients, and oftentimes that's a little bit of the work that we have to do when couples come in, is to split them to do a little bit of individual work, because I'm telling you, the filter of life that has happened, the experiences of life really do become a filter through which we see the world present day. And unless we heal those parts of us from our childhood or from our past or from previous broken relationships, sometimes even from the brokenness that happened within the very relationship that you're in, unless you heal that stuff, it might look like the grass is always greener. It might be frustrating by this is the 387th time that he doesn't help with the dishes. This is the 487th time that I have to take care of the kids or pick them up from school, whatever it is, right? Copy and paste. We start keeping score, and oftentimes that's probably the biggest demise to the relationship, right? We're keeping score and we're starting to think maybe the grass is greener, maybe I should jump ship. And so the biggest recommendation that I give people is do a lot of deep soul searching and ask yourself, what part did I contribute to where we are in this relationship today? And if the answer is you play a role in that, you have an obligation to fix that for yourself as well. You're going to carry that to any relationship you're with. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you all for watching. Again, I'm Dr. Garcia. Until the next video, don't forget to be kind to yourself. It really is a great start to a peaceful mind.